We're going to call the meeting for October 14th of the Cambridge City Town Council to order, and we'll have an opening prayer.
Dear Lord, we come today and we just thank you for Cambridge City. Thank you for the leaders who do things in the background, and even those who are more noticed, God. I pray you be with just our community and the decisions that we're making here. And Lord, watch over us as just different things going on, the weather, and maybe just some evil out there. But God, we just thank you for the opportunity to meet and for the betterment of our town. In the name of Jesus we pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Sherry. We're going to call the roll.
Sure. Yes, there's one chair. Okay, Seth, going to that one. Ken, will you go into my office and grab a couple chairs for them, and then I'll have enough chairs for everybody. Thanks. Those little green chairs will work. Okay, I'm ready. You ready? Jim McLean's absent. Mike Emick.
Here.
Debbie McGinley. Here. Gary Cole.
Here.
And Jim King.
Here.
Great.
All right, we need approval of the minutes from last month's meeting.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Approval of the claims. Claims, financials, and bank statements. We do that all together? Or
No.
Just claims? Okay.
I'll make a motion, we accept the claims.
Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. All right, and we need approval for the financials and the bank statement.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. So,
Okay. There you go.
all right, we're all set there. We're off and running.
Yep.
Okay, first up, public hearing will be approval of the 2025 budget for Cambridge City.
I think we basically talked about all the details of it at actual public hearing last month's meeting, and so this is just the time if there are any changes. Otherwise, a motion to approve that ordinance would be in order.
And I gave you all a copy.
Right? Does anyone have any concerns or issues with the budget as it was gone over last month? Previously?
No, motion to approve.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
So
I hear no.
Go ahead.
Anybody opposed? No?
So I need you to sign your name, yes or no. Then you
Okay.
approve it and I'll sign your name, and then I can get that signed.
Okay. You want to go ahead and get that signed and then we'll move on?
I know you go ahead.
Okay, I'll go ahead and move through then. All right, we need to open the bids for the performance venue in the park. Looks like we have two bids here. So we'll open the first one here is from Thor Construction Company. At the Grammys or something. Okay. So the base bid document, I'm not sure what I do here. I just need to read out the base bid and the number it is.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, the base bid for this contract is $536,000 even. And there are appendices to see here. Okay, Appendix C, alternatives to the base bid. The following amounts shall be added to or deducted from the base bid sum, and refer to section 012900, payment procedures, and 12300 alternates. Alternate number 1 additional hardscape improvements. Base bid, no improvements within the alternate 1 mile. And B, alternate, it provides all work associated with the additional hardscape, including but not limited to earthwork, concrete pavements, concrete curb, painted striping, bike racks, and other incidentals per the alternate 1 area indicated in the drawings and specifications. That is an addition of $104,000 to the base. Alternate 2, no improvements within the alternate 2 area. The alternate, what is alternate? The alternate in alternate 2, provide all work associated with the additional hardscape and lighting, including but not limited to earthwork and grading, concrete pavements, concrete curb, painted striping, turf, electrical, lighting, and other incidentals per alternate 2 area indicated in the drawings and specifications. That will be an addition of $228,000. Alternate 3, no improvements to the base bid. And the alternate is provide all work associated with the seating area, including but not limited to earthwork and grading, concrete, crushed limestone paving, lighting, and other incidentals per the drawings and specifications. That will be an addition of $53,000. And where do I go from there, Cecil?
You can open the second bid now.
All right. Put this all together so I don't get them mixed up. These are all the duplicates. All right. And the second bid is from Pride Mark Construction, Muncie, Indiana. All right, the base bid for this one is $542,800. I'm not seeing the appendices here, maybe. Are they in here in a different order?
They might be in the order.
Ah. Here it is. All right. Alternative 1, no improvement within the alternate 1 area. And B in the alternate is provide all work associated with the additional hardscape, but not limited to earthwork, concrete paving, concrete curb, painted striping, bike racks, and other incidentals per the alternate 1 area indicated in the drawings and specifications. This will be an addition of $105,400. Alternate number 2, additional hardscape and lighting improvements. No improvements within the alternate 2 area. Then the alternates are provide all work associated with the additional hardscape and lighting, including but not limited to earthwork and grading, concrete pavements, concrete curb, painted striping, turf, electrical, lighting, and other incidentals per the alternate 2 area indicated in the drawings and specifications. That will be an addition of $157,900. And alternate 3 is the same as above, no improvements in the alternate 3 area. And then provide all work associated with the seating area, including but not limited to earthwork and grading, concrete, crushed limestone paving, lighting, and other incidentals per the drawing and specifications. That will be an additional $44,000. So, does anybody have that as a total?
744,700 for Pride Mark,
Mm-hmm.
and 36 with the base for 404,000.
You need those numbers again, Sherry?
I think I got it now. And, is that right? 921,000? Is that what you got, Cecil? For
You're ahead of me just a second.
536 base.
Yeah, that's gonna be, just off the top of my head, you're
Okay.
in the ballpark there, real close.
I think that's what it is.
That's right.
921.
So Thor, I have the value of the alternate subtotals 385,000, and then the value of the base total construction value would be 921,000. And then on Pride Mark, the value of the alternates is 307,300. So we are the $849,800. Is that what you came up with, Sherry?
Yeah, 849.
All right, now, what do we need to do from here? I'm not sure.
We're
where we
gonna
go.
take them under advisement.
Okay,
That'll give us time to do some due diligence on the bids, look through them, make sure all the subcontractors are in order.
all right, and then we'll come back and readdress this at a meeting in the future.
In fact, I think, aren't you having a special meeting
Yeah,
for
Jim
that?
was hoping to have a special meeting on October 21st to award the bid.
I
But you
know
were
I
gonna
said
be
I
gone.
wasn't
Yeah,
gonna be
you
here
weren't
for
gonna be
that,
here,
so.
yeah.
But I'm sure we're being in agreement on it, so,
At 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
so we'll come back and readdress this at the special meeting on October 21st.
Next Monday, huh?
Okay.
6 o'clock.
All right. I guess I said yes. Mhm. There we go. Yeah, one more.
One more.
And there we go. All right, I got all my stuff, you got all your stuff?
Got it.
All right, next up, guests. Lori Lakes and repairs to the curb on Maple Street.
I'm here. I
Okay.
just wanted to know how if there was indeed a field trip and how it went.
You field trip?
Because that's what everybody said, that they wanted to look at the curb that was placed.
Yes, I did.
I
walk by your house every day.
Okay.
I have
There-
driven by it a couple times and looked at it. I think it was initially done, and I think there was some improvements done after the initial work was done.
No, no improvements.
No.
Okay, I thought there'd been some,
No. No. And then I thought at the last meeting it was decided that my concrete slab was going to be removed, and it has not been removed.
I need to know, when do you want it removed?
Well, I kinda need to know what's happening with the curb first.
Well, they were gonna try to level it up some more, but we didn't have any concrete left when we did the sidewalk. And so right now, we're not gonna do nothing more with that, because I believe we are getting the funding, or we got approved to do some more water lines, and that is one of them that we are looking at replacing down that street. And so once we get done with that, we can address things with the street when it gets repaved.
Will that be this year or next year?
The street itself getting redone will probably be a couple years down the road.
so will there be anything done to address the curb or the slab and all that
Like I said,
between now and
we
then?
can pull that slab out for, but the curb itself, right now, we're not gonna do anything more with that curb.
Because you're gonna tear it out again.
Probably have to tear it out or something when we start messing with the water lines.
I went for 2 years.
When's the water lines gonna happen on the street?
That is probably not till next spring.
Is that something that's in concrete to happen?
It is some additional work that we had submitted with money we had left over from the other project that we had done. And from the last conversation I had with Adam, I believe they, SRF, said that stuff was all through. They did approve that additional work that we had submitted on projects. And so, the last time we had talked to Cooley one time, you know, they're looking at next spring before they'd even be able to get to working on these water lines.
Is that replacing the main down Maple?
Yep.
And then to everybody's meter?
Then there'll be a new service line from the new main to everybody's meter.
And then after that, the street will be completely resurfaced?
That is the plan, as long as I can still keep getting community crossing grants.
So if the water lines go in, the street may or may not at this time be taken care of?
It should be, because as long as they keep the program going.
And if the water lines go in and the program stops, then we're stuck with a street that's just,
No, it could be pushed out farther, because my, $80,000 that we budget for road paving, instead of being turned into 200,000 with this grant, I'll only have that 80,000 to work with, and I can't do as much in one year as I have been able to do.
But we can still prioritize with that 80,000 inside our own budget, right? So if we had a
Yes.
street that was torn out,
Yeah,
we
and
can make that
and
top
those are the-
priority.
Those
I
are
mean,
the streets that I would prioritize
Yeah, that
over
would be-
other ones that I'm
yeah,
working on paving.
ones that just had normal wear and tear could be pushed off, and the one, yeah, I would say we would repair the one that was dug up first. So, yeah.
If we remove the slab for your driveway at the end, it's at the end, right?
It's
where-
just the sidewalk, yeah, not driveway, just sidewalk.
It's right next to it.
It's right next to where I park, yes.
It looks like it's been through the war.
Well, because
So-
it hasn't had a curb for 6 years.
So, who's responsible for replacing that?
That slab,
Yeah,
she is.
so you just want it moved, taken out?
Well, when whoever removes the slab, the curb is going to be damaged
Affected, it is,
because
that's right.
it's attached.
Yep.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
So
And the curb work that was done is inadequate, it was,
you looked at it, what do you think?
yeah, I would be out there replacing it myself. But yes, it should be replaced. Agree completely, my opinion. So,
And you said you walk by the house every day.
I
How do
agree,
you feel?
I agree with Jim.
And have you looked at it?
I am.
And how do you feel?
Yeah, it needs to be done better. Yeah,
Okay, just wanna make sure everybody was in agreement.
I would like for us to have
I
a
don't
curb
think you're speaking
machine.
for
some-
you.
no, please do, because I've spoke 3 meetings and I'm still with a curb that is not adequate, in my opinion. So,
It's not gonna cost that much to fix it right.
just need to pull it up, form it up, pour it.
Form it the right way.
So Ken, what are your thoughts on that? Is it a time issue? Is it-
Right now, it's a time issue with leaf season starting. And with some other major things the guys need to get taken care of before.
All right, well, I would recommend this gets put on the prioritized list. We've heard about it for 3 months now.
It only took them a day to do it before.
Yeah, I understand.
well, they need to
I'm with
spend
you.
a little bit more time this time, please.
Yeah, do we
I agree.
have access to a curb machine, one of the, that you can actually, you put the concrete in and it forms a curb? No? We might look into that because,
I just say let's prioritize it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about cost, Ken, we can.
I know what this slab will cost because I called IMI,
Right, I'm just saying the curb.
$525.
I'm mostly concerned about the curb right now. Because we can, once the curbs, see, we take the curb out, we take your slab out.
Because
Then we
it's
put the
attached.
curb back in, then we put the slab. There'll be a expansion joint between them.
And we can form the slab to the curb. Right
Yeah.
now, it's a trip issue.
Okay. So I would just suggest we prioritize it.
Yeah.
We instruct, or meet with Ken to figure out when it can be done.
yeah, come
I
up
don't have,
with a
I
date.
can't tell you the answer about that.
Hmm.
You have priorities, we understand that.
Talk
So-
right after me, so talk. We're talking about sidewalks, so talk.
I didn't know they were gonna continue with.
Well, I think he
ahead, Joe.
prioritized it.
Okay, so I was here a couple months ago. Last month I couldn't make it because I got ill, and I brought up the topic about the sidewalks. And I believe it was my understanding that you guys were kind of gonna talk about it a little bit to see what direction we could possibly go. I do have a couple of thoughts about the sidewalks. I know the rules are it's the owner's responsibility for the sidewalk. But they're becoming in some areas of the city, a huge trip issue, safety issue. Can't push strollers or anything down some of these streets because of the sidewalks. So, my concern was how do you get the resident to make that correction to the sidewalks? Because it's an issue for everybody, just not the sidewalk that's in front of their home. Everybody enjoys walking around and all of that. And again, I go back to, I have no issue with the playground for the kids, but I'm also looking toward these elderly folks that walk around with the strollers or with the walkers, and they can't do it, or they're gonna trip, or they can't go out, in the evening, or, the kids walking down the street going to the bus stop in the morning. There's some huge issues with some of the sidewalks. So, and my other issue was, my question was, what if a curb, which is deteriorating, is attached to the sidewalk? If you go down the street that's just to the west of me, the sidewalk runs down that street, but the curbs are also deteriorating. So who's responsible for the curb when it's right up against the sidewalk?
When there's no grass in between the
There's
curbs
no
and the
grass in
sidewalk.
between.
The town will still be responsible for the curb, I
Curbs
think.
on streets, yeah.
Right.
Do you know if, or can you, I know your budget's already set for this year, but, can you look at making some type of assessment at some of these curbs in the city, that what needs to be done?
Bob,
Actually, they treat sidewalks and curbs together under section 100.03. It says, in the event of deterioration of a sidewalk or curb, it will be the responsibility of the town to remove that sidewalk or curb, provided any replacement thereof shall be, and that thereof is sidewalk or curb, it shall be the responsibility of the owner of any ground fronting on such sidewalk or curb at the owner's cost.
and what is our recourse if the owner,
Doesn't.
we have a lot of properties around here where the owners are absentee owners, so,
Yeah, you would have to file suit against them if there's something that they really were supposed to do and they didn't.
I have no idea, but is that policy that is there standard for most small communities?
I
Is
couldn't answer for that for all of them, I don't know.
Or is it just unique to us? Because I know and I know we're no fixers, we're no Noblesville, but they go through there and they strip it all and they replace it all.
Their budgets.
I know,
Yeah.
yes, I understand
Pay
that.
your taxes.
But a broken leg is still a broken leg.
Right.
If somebody's pushing a stroller, or mother not wanting, or people not wanting to push a stroller down the street, it's still people that don't wanna walk around or anything like that, so.
Bob, is there a process, or is there a process for a homeowner to request if they, to have a sidewalk and a curb removed, and then they would commit or agree to replacing it? Do we
I mean,
have
I
a
don't know,
process?
I don't know if you have a form, it's just set out there that they can request that.
So they come into the city building and,
If somebody's wanting to replace a sidewalk in front of their house, if they contact me and say, hey, in 2 weeks I'm gonna pour new sidewalk in front of my house, can you guys come and pull that out? We can come and pull it out. But we just don't go and pull sidewalk out.
because you'd have
And then expect,
you'd have a muddy patch there for
Right.
how long.
Right, yeah, because,
Yeah.
again, we have so many landlords and stuff, I would consider, I don't know if I'm able to make a proposal or suggestion, that you reevaluate that policy because of all the landlords, and people aren't just gonna arbitrarily go out and spend, $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 to change out the sidewalk. They're gonna be forced, or something's gonna have to happen, but your infrastructure is crumbling. And if you don't do something about it, it's not gonna be attractive to younger generations, and it just makes it look junky.
yeah.
So,
So
that's
I-
just my concern.
So I agree completely with that. Who's liable if somebody has an accident on a sidewalk in front of a house?
Well, you'd have to look and see who was responsible for it. I mean, if they did something to it to cause it to be in poor condition, then it would be that property owner. If it was something the town did cause it to be in that condition, it'd be the town. So it's just gonna depend.
What if it's a tree,
I was just
Right,
thinking
that's
that.
where I used to run down
Yeah.
Church Street.
like a root?
On the north side of Church Street there, I mean, it was like running through a minefield.
Is that act of God, or
And
is it,
so-
I mean,
And it was trees, that was all
Tree
caused by
problem.
tree
That's
roots.
what's in front of Sue's.
Right.
It's the tree. They're on
Yeah.
Maple.
okay, so anyway, this has been a good discussion, we just need
We,
to act.
yeah,
so.
we need to make sure we get this first, you know, prioritize this issue. And then, maybe we can go back and look at and readdress some of these items that we have. And it's been a long time, probably since a lot of these things were written. And ownership of properties, and the way people own properties has changed in town in the last 40 years.
And I know the issues that you're talking about and I've seen is elderly people live there. So they're on a fixed budget. So, you know, calling the city building and say, I have a dangerous sidewalk, please pull it up, and then having, I've already priced concrete, it's expensive.
It's very high rate.
Yeah, right.
I
So,
know.
you know, elderly people are not going to choose to do that, although they
Right.
still want their sidewalk to be safe,
Yeah,
so.
we're in a conundrum, that's the problem.
It is a conundrum, yes.
So-
It's good.
But I think we need to have a position on it, we
Yeah.
need to be able to help Ken make decisions.
We need to
I mean, it's not directly our decision making, it's how do we help
Yeah.
form.
We could
Process.
actually set something, like we're doing with the homes and things like that, just go around and try to prioritize where we are with issues with the sidewalks and the curbs.
Right, so we will do that.
Yeah.
So,
I appreciate you taking the time and listening and.
I'll make that one of those things I put on my agenda, that I talk to
Thank
Tim
you.
once a month, at least in between meetings, we kinda go over things.
You know, I'm
that
not
need
looking at
cleaned
making
up.
homeowners spend thousands of dollars on their sidewalk. But at the same time, I wanna see people have a good, I watched a couple walk down Maple last week, old elder couple, they were holding hands, it was so cute. But they were walking down the middle of the street because they didn't wanna walk on the sidewalk, you know?
That's how we used to walk down the middle of the sidewalk.
Way to do it.
Anyway,
All right.
Well, thank you.
Good
Thank you for your
discussion.
time.
So I
We
don't
will
need to
take
come-
this all under consideration, we'll get back with
do I need to
you.
come to the next meeting or no?
that's a good question. I would say I hope not.
Yeah, well,
I would
we
say
will
I
make
would-
every effort to see to it that piece is fixed before the next meeting. And then we'll start looking at ways to address this in the future around the town in different areas. But you're right, it is a problem. It's been a problem long before I was on the board, I used to complain about it myself, just to my wife. But when I get back from running, like, I'm gonna break my leg out there. one
Thank
day.
Thank you for your time again.
Thank you
Thank
all.
you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we got a young man here, Desmond Beck's building a fire pit for his Eagle Scout badge. Want to tell us about that?
Sure.
Yeah, I understand that.
Good evening. My name is Desmond Bex.
Hi.
I'm from Troop 3, and I'm going to be building a flag retirement fire pit with your guys' approval at the fire station. I've already talked to the fire station and the American Legion, and they're on board with the idea. And I have some stuff to pass out. These are kind of what my project's going to look like. It's some ideas that we found online, and it just has some pictures that you can look at and see kind of what I'm doing. So, first off,
That'd be cool.
at the fire station, we've kind of thought of a little area to do it. If there's a concrete base there already, I'm just going to build the fire pit on it, but if not, I'm going to dig out a little area and put some gravel in it, and then build the fire pit on top of that. The actual fire pit itself is going to be around 4 feet by 4 feet, and it's going to be built with wall stones. And also, I was wondering if I could build a flag box and put it at the facility building so people can drop off flags that need to be retired. And
Good idea.
Good idea.
Yeah, very much.
also, I'm going to be building a bench that's going to go off to the side of the fire pit. That way, if anybody can't stand, they can sit down while there's a flag ceremony going on. And I'm going to be building a placard that will go beside the fire pit that will kind of give a little summary of what it is, who can use it, all that type of stuff. That's my
Is that
alarm.
planned that way to, is that the finale?
I have another one.
that the don't talk too long?
That is, I need to go to face check one. So I'm not around.
That is almost perfect.
I know.
Perfect time.
I kind of have a time frame built out on when this should be completed over the winter. I'm going to be doing the off-site stuff, like building the flag retirement box and the benches. I've already established with a man named Mike Bodwell that we're going to use his shop area to build that, and my local Boy Scout troop's also going to help me with it. And then over the spring, I'm actually going to do the on-site work, which is digging up the area if I need to, and actually building the fire pit itself. It should be done around next summer. Other than that, that's about all I have. If I need to come back and modify anything, I'm fine with doing that. And do you guys have any questions?
Great idea.
That's a great idea.
I have one
Yeah,
question.
love
Is this in the park?
It is beside the fire station.
So
Fire
is that- That's not in the,
Is it gonna be up on the old
Well, they're
water?
just south of where the dumpster's at. There's an old little sidewalk here, it goes back to a cement slab,
that's
where it
not,
used to be the ice house used to sit there.
Okay.
Yeah.
that's not part of the park.
That's what I was gonna ask, as far as the specific location, so it doesn't get in the way of any of your other
Right.
new stuff.
Yeah, when we're doing construction in there, we don't have to
It's-
remove it in order to
Yeah.
get trucks in
Well, isn't
there.
there-
It's nowhere near where they'd be
Fires
working,
in the
so
park.
Okay.
it's in the front, it's actually in the front,
Yeah.
about close to the road.
Back when planning it worked.
All right, so, I mean, that's to the or to the east, that's a good spot for it, but I think to the south, or
Well,
to the north.
Well,
It's actually
no.
south of the dumpster, if you know where the dumpster's at,
Yeah.
it's south toward the street from there.
Okay, that's
You
even
pointed
better.
out to him where.
Yeah, I'll show him, when he comes up, we'll look at it, and see if that will work out for him. It's even slab there.
Oh yeah, another thing I'm doing too is I'm going to be building a metal lid, and there's going to be holes on each side so it can be chained down. That way people don't just throw their trash in it or
Oh,
light
good.
bonfires at night.
Okay.
Okay, good idea.
The action the council would need to take, is what you're basically doing is accepting a donation of this work for him to be performing for his badge. Yeah, so I think, isn't that what you're wanting, is their approval for you to do
Yes.
this?
Well, then I will entertain a motion for the approval of the donation of a fire pit by Mr. Bex.
Second.
I'm asking
No,
for
he's
the.
asking
Oh.
for a motion.
Yeah.
You're used to- you're used to
Okay, I'll
him
make
making
that
a
motion.
Go for it, Devin.
Second that. It's a great. idea.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried unanimously. All right.
All right,
Look
thanks.
forward to
And
it.
then
Thank
also,
you.
those you can do the box at the city building, right?
Yeah, do we need to
Yeah.
include the box? We need to do another one for the box?
If that was
Yes,
inferred to be
include-
part of that.
That's right,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, that's
We're
what I
taking
thought
the
I heard.
donation,
Okay,
yeah.
just wanna make sure, yeah.
All right.
Cool.
You're all
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you.
And the bench as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the bench too, yeah.
I got more work for you too.
So you know anything about curves? All right, next we have Devin Lambert speaking about Cambridge City Youth Baseball. All right.
Basically, this is just about me stepping down from my current position as commissioner and basically retiring from the youth league. And we have voted Nate Criswell here as the new commissioner for the CCYL
Okay.
going forward.
What's his name?
Nathan
Nate Criswell, or Nathan Criswell, either one. No H in Chris, C-R-I-S.
Okay.
So you will be our contact in the future then?
Yeah.
That's correct, yes.
Everything to do with the
Sure,
ball
you remember,
diamond.
does the council have to approve that?
They have to
I
approve
think
it,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
Do we? So we need a
Yeah,
motion.
you have to
Yes.
nominate, yeah.
All right. Do I have to nominate or just
No.
take a motion that we
You can do a
accept
motion.
his?
Accept a motion to
Right.
approve.
Yeah, all right. I'll entertain a motion to accept Mr. Criswell as the new baseball commissioner for Cambridge City Youth League.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Nope. So you're good to go. All right.
Can I get your contact
Approved.
information?
Yeah.
You don't have to do it right now if you don't want everybody to hear it.
It's fine. Probably got my phone number anyway.
Okay,
Just
oh,
phone
go ahead.
number, or what do you need?
Yeah, just so where I can
Okay,
contact you if I need
it's
to.
765
Okay,
524 3663.
and this is effective like right now, so I can stop Text him.
Immediate.
Okay.
Unless
Right
you
now.
absolutely need
You can go ahead and block her.
Yeah, don't bug me, yeah.
I'll still be on the board, but
Okay,
I'll be back an awful lot.
okay.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for doing
And thank
that.
you for stepping up,
Yeah.
Mr. Griswold, appreciate it.
Yes.
Yes, I know,
Appreciate it.
we appreciate it. When we didn't have anybody, we appreciate you doing your job. Thanks.
All right, next up, Mr. Tony Smith, mini potbelly pig.
That's me.
Not mini, small
Not,
potbelly
yeah,
pig.
small, and
But
miniature.
didn't you call it, you called it a mini, didn't you?
It's a
Well,
mini,
yeah,
but not
and they
minis and
are-
several, minis and just.
They are-
Oh, okay, I get it. All right, gotcha.
They are classified as a miniature pig or a potbelly pig. It depends upon who you're talking to, but it's the same classification. I've got some items here. Jim's already got some of this. We talked about things previously. Would you like a copy of this?
Sure, if you have an extra.
I do. I think I made enough for everybody. Would you like one too? I didn't want you to feel left out. Jerry?
Yep, thanks.
Thanks, sir.
That is not a mini. Look at the second picture. I thought it was like this.
No, he's not a micro or a teacup. He is a
That was
mini.
a big,
And the
You
class,
go to a farm and see a real pig, and they're
in the classifications of mini pigs,
Ooh, mercy.
they are 25 inches or shorter. Now, depending upon exactly how level I was and if my glasses were straight, he's between 22 and 23 inches.
Oh,
Okay, so he's not what you would say,
like a medium-sized dog.
pig.
he's not a baby. Yeah, he's a little smaller than what like a husky would be, and maybe a little bit bigger than a bulldog as far as height-wise. So when I walk up to him, he strikes me right about right here in height, about knee high. Okay. As you can see through the pictures, he's been in the house. He's house trained. Okay. And I have this letter that I got previously talking about livestock and the removal of livestock. If you'll notice on this first page, on USDA letterhead in the third paragraph, okay, it says here that the federal government recognizes potbelly pigs as pets. And we wish to clarify that. In most cases, we do consider these animals to be pet animals. A potbelly pig is considered livestock only when the animals are in import or export status. Restrictions are imposed only to prevent disease transmission that may affect the health status of the domestic swine industry in either the importing or exporting country. However, the USDA, for all other purposes, considers potbelly pigs to be pet animals because they are not bred and raised in this country for food or fiber purposes. So I'm wishing to have, and then onto the back of this, there is from Tony Howley, from the Oinking Acres Farm Rescue and Sanctuary. Oh, yes. Oinking Acres has been in a 501c3 status since 2017, has taken in over 500 potbelly pigs, rehomed 350 of those 500, okay? And she works with towns and cities. The letter there will explain it if you read it. What I'm looking for is to have him excluded as livestock and included as a pet animal. There are, notes. At this point in time, there are 1 million plus potbelly pig owners in the United States. You go to Chewy,
people that have pets know Chewy. They have 7 different brands of, and this is one that I use, and if you notice, it's specifically labeled mini pig food. They have a different nutritional standard than farm-raised pigs, okay? That one comes from TSC, of which they have 2 brands and 4 selections, a youth, an adult, and a senior. So this is a pet that is becoming widely popular today. Oscar's house trained.
We've had him for 6.5 years.
And we've had him for 6.5 years. And I'm sure most people didn't even know we had him.
No.
What's his name?
Oscar.
Oscar.
Yes.
About what percentage of the time does he spend inside?
This summer, he did not get to spend much of any time at all, actually, inside because of the heat, the busy, the everything, okay? Until Teresa had her heart attack and her surgery, he spent all of his time inside except for a small percentage of time just navigating baby gates and things of that nature made it a little more difficult. So we had to have some outdoor accommodations for Oscar as well at that point.
So he's in a pen outside?
He's in a pen outside, got a metal roof on it. He has his own box that's insulated that he can get in and sleep or do whatever he wants to do. You know, he sunbathes through the day. He's not allowed to roam free at all, ever. That's like giving a 3-year-old a stick and a wood fence and say, go play. You know, he's going to be everywhere.
How much does Oscar weigh?
Oscar weighs, well, he's modest. He doesn't like to get on the scales. But he weighs between 125 and 150 pounds. Okay? And right now, I'll be honest with you, I'm a bad one for this. Oh, you want an extra treat? Here. So he is probably a little overweight for his size. Okay? Which, you know, I think you can probably understand because I've seen you walk by with your dog before.
And he gets lots of treats.
Yeah, he does. Yes, yeah. You know, the other thing too with these pigs, they are considered, and it's arguably, it depends which Google site you want to look at, okay? The 3rd smartest animal that we have, okay, and they rank right behind chimps and other primates. They have the learning capabilities of a 3 to 4-year-old child, which is remarkable when you think, you know. And the other side of it is it's really remarkable when you think of, in general, how they are actually treated. And they're that smart, okay? So, yeah.
Okay, so you're asking us to not enforce our ordinance, right?
Or to change the ordinance so that he fits and conforms within the ordinance.
Yeah.
Okay.
As a pet?
As a pet.
And we may need to expand the definition of pet and then define it more clearly.
What I would suggest is, right now you have a definition of livestock, which just in general says pigs, as well as goats, cows, horses. What I would suggest, if you want to do something like this, you could say, provided this definition will not include, and then talk about the kind of pig that you are talking about. And I see that in this letter, that even talks about that you might have some other guidelines, is require it to be an indoor pet, require it to maybe to be sterilized, set a weight limit on it, set a maximum number that a household could have, things like that would follow this letter and do it as an exclusion or a clarification of your definition of livestock, which would therefore allow it to be kept inside the town limits.
Okay.
And he is sterilized.
Yes, I the 2 things I had, he was neutered as soon as he was able to be neutered. I mean, it was not a, oh, well, maybe we need to do this. No, okay? And the other thing, Tony Howley, who works for the Oinking Acres, she reached out to me this morning and also wanted me to convey that any of the council that would like to contact her, her phone number and her email is there, and she would be more than willing to work with the town council to help
with an ordinance or any questions beyond her letter that anyone had?
Bob, do we need to
Do we
make,
need to-
we don't need to make a motion or anything for you to like work on some language
No,
for
I
that?
mean, I can just, given your consensus,
Yeah,
if you want me to draw something up, I can have
Sign
it
we
ready
can
for
look
next
at.
month's
I
meeting.
do,
Yeah.
definitely.
I've got
Let
one
us-
other thing I want to add, and this would probably reflect on your language. I think a limitation of one should be set, and I'm gonna be frank about this. There is Freedom Acres Ranch out of Michigan that makes trips this way 2 times per year. They do hooves, tusks, they can do shearing of alpacas, sheep for small farmers, okay, or pet owners. Their cost to stop by to take care of him 2 times every year is $125 to $150. When you add the extra in, then you're $250 to $300, and I think that having one so that it gets better treatment and can stay healthier would be a lot better than having 2 that someone may skip something on.
Or they get given up.
Mhm.
And what?
Or they get given up.
Or they get
Yeah.
given up, and then someplace like Oinking Acres is left with another animal.
Right.
And which,
This sounds like a stupid question, but I know there are some people that never want to have just one dog. They say it's better to have 2, company for one
Yeah.
another. Would anyone ever try to raise that argument that, hey, it's better to have 2 of these pet pigs rather than 1? I just want to accommodate them if they would raise that argument.
okay, I think that argument could definitely be raised, okay, because pigs are extremely social animals. You can see the pictures there.
Yeah.
The one was my grandson laying on the couch with the pig and our 22-year-old cat.
Well, they love cats, dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Squirrels,
So,
anything.
so yes, I see that
So
as
maybe allow up
being,
to
He
2.
loves
I don't know,
them.
so finally up to council, but I just raise that because I know people have that opinion sometimes about a cat or a dog that they need. They want
Understandable.
multiple for company for one another.
So I would make a motion that, Bob, you.
Yeah,
yeah,
I think we have consent here that.
Well, I think
that-
I don't know if you need a motion to stop
So you got a
well,
letter? What-
Knowing that
You got
a
a
new
letter?
ordinance to amend the code
You got a letter?
is underway, then I think your police chief, your town people will know not to be enforcing this right now.
Okay, cool, we're good to go.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
okay.
Thank you, Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
Thank you all very much.
Periodically,
I don't wanna give up my
Yeah.
pet.
Yeah.
You've chased them too, haven't you?
Yeah, that wasn't here, but yeah. Yeah.
We just have to be careful how this might expand, so we gotta just.
Yeah, well, I'll come up with something and I'll try to get to you beforehand and then we can tweak it next month's meeting.
Okay.
Yep.
Based on what you feel is
Yeah,
comfortable.
You
Right.
yeah,
I've
you
got
send it
one
out
more-
to us.
Excuse me.
Yep.
One more thing. As me personally, my personal opinion, I don't foresee the fact that you're gonna be overrun with potbelly pig owners in this town. There may be someone that does then
Right.
add to it, but, I mean, I don't think we're gonna have to add a potbelly pig park somewhere, okay? Let's just say that.
One question I have, like on this letter, it suggested that you require it to be an indoor pet, but yet you say yours is outside. How do we adjust that to allow, make it indoor pet, but allow it to be outside, what, in a pen? in a
Well, I
cage?
think if outdoors, no matter how outdoors, it needs to be contained in some manner that prevents it from running amok through the neighborhood.
Should it be allowed to be outside all the time, or should we require it to at least be inside at times and be an inside pet?
I think, honestly,
It's actually like a dog. Some of them prefer to be outside.
Mhm.
They get hot natured inside. And some are, we've got a Great Pyrenees. He don't like inside at all. So he
Too
prefers outside, and I
I just
think
know
it's,
being outside opens a little bit more the door for it to be more livestock than
Yeah.
Sure.
pet-fied.
Right.
So I kind of like the idea of it generally being an indoor pet, but it can have outside time available to
Yeah.
it.
Right.
So,
Agreed.
is that-
yeah.
And that's maybe something that you might want to send an email to Tony Howley there
Mhm.
and get her advice on.
Okay.
If you read there, she's worked with many towns and municipalities throughout the Midwest. She does have, from what I can see, a great deal of ordinance
Yes, she does
experience.
have, and she even suggests that it require an annual permit. I'm not sure, do you want to require an annual permit for somebody?
No.
Yeah.
You don't need any bureaucracy.
No, no more paper.
That's over.
We classify it as a pet.
Okay, that gives me some ideas.
Okay, okay. And if anybody has any questions, of course, I'm just right down the street. You're more than welcome to talk to me as well.
What's your phone number? Is it
765-478-53.
Tell me,
25?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
So you can come to the meeting in November if you want, or you don't have to, if you wanna hear what they,
the language.
What they end up passing, so.
Okay.
yeah.
This is
Well,
good, Tony. Right?
I guess my thing is it is going to pass at this point then?
I would say.
Sounds like it's headed that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's-
I'm for it.
all right, well, I appreciate
Thank you.
everybody's
Thank you.
consideration and time.
Thank you
All right.
guys.
And thank you.
Thank
You
you guys.
give me the oomph to step forward a little bit. I appreciate it.
No problem.
So,
Thanks for coming.
Talk
Tony.
again.
All right, you guys,
All right.
thanks. Take care.
Annie Hayes says
She's
something,
not
but I
here,
don't see her
so,
here,
she's
so.
not here, so I guess
Right on.
I sent y'all copies of, pay application number 10.
Yep, I was
That
reading that earlier
looks
today.
like we are giving a amount to Cooley for $76,023.90 and holding $2,500.
Well, the change order is what I
The
printed
change.
off. And I can speak to the change order, which it looks like Cooley has now agreed to. This is the 71,221 that we told them they were gonna have to do because of the $20,000 poor performance, and then that liquidated damages for not meeting the timeline, which was 51,221. So I'm glad we kept on them for that. We just saved $71,000
Right.
off of this
Yeah.
That's right.
contract. So-
Yeah. And,
And they have now signed off on it, so you just now need to approve that change order.
yeah, I think we did them pretty
You
fair.
did them
I
very
think we did
fair.
them very fairly on that, so, yeah,
Great.
But I'm glad we didn't just let it sit, which at one time
Yeah.
we kind of considered. So
yeah.
it was worth speaking up.
Okay, so you need a motion. Approve the change order, number 3.
Do I have a motion to approve the change order to
Number
pay,
3.
pay application 3?
I'll make a motion that we approve the change order, application number 3.
Yeah, not pay application, but application, change
Change
order
order
number 3.
number 3.
I'll second it.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved?
And pay application, let's go with.
Got it right here.
Ken, do you know anything about the pay application number 10?
That's not it.
No?
I had this all
Shows
here, but I think I don't have.
$76,023.90. Retainage. Balance to finish, retainage. Nobody knows anything about it?
No? I thought she'd be here and tell us all about it.
Me too.
Well, we've taken care of the approval and
Yeah,
we're good to go.
all right.
I mean, yeah, we're good to go, right? I mean, you just need to, does Jim have this?
Yeah, Jim signed it. He just said it needed to be approved.
Okay.
So
Jim said
we-
that too,
We've
so-
approved, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, that went quicker than usual when we have a report due.
Yeah.
Move on to unfinished business. Progress report for all the ongoing blighted property issues, including 411 and 415 Front Street, and 26 each front. I just went by 411, and it's starting to look like a
Man,
pretty
it's
nice
looking
little place.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the siding on it.
Yeah,
They got it all sided now?
yeah, it's
It's
sided.
almost all sided.
I say last week when I was by,
Yeah,
west side
yeah.
was done.
I think 3 sides are done now. The roof is
Yeah,
put
the little
on.
bump out in the back hasn't been sided yet, but the rest of it's all done.
And 26 East Front was Tony, isn't it? When that
Yes,
money,
and that's,
And that's been taken care of.
he's all good.
and, down at 415 West Front, I talked with Kenny last week, he's gonna be bringing me in some plans, because they are gonna be tearing some of the walls that were burnt and replacing them, and he's gonna be changing the pitch of the roof, so he's gonna be bringing those plans so I can issue him a building permit for that house. Cause it's gonna be more than just, you know, remodeling the inside and taking care of that. Like I said, that one, I guess what we're on, I did, you know, I'd sent you guys the things that, you know, we, you know, had to have that, inspection done that the county took care of, and that they did find asbestos in 420 West Front. You know, and
West Main?
West Main.
yeah,
West Main, yeah.
and I reached out to 3 companies out in Indy, cause there's nobody around here that does any asbestos abatement, and then 2 of them did respond back to me. And I had sent them a copy of the report, and they were able to come up with cause I had in there how much there was. And one came back with a cost of $4,800, and the other one was, if I remember right, was $37. And so I guess if nothing else, I need your guys' approval to proceed with that. So I can get a hold of one of them to get that removed, so then we can move forward with getting that tore down.
Have you looked at them pretty close to make sure that they're both bidding, they're
It's
doing the
removed,
same work?
Yes.
Same work versus same work, so.
And Sarah Mitchell, the EDC, did say that they would reimburse for the cost of the demolition and the asbestos abatement.
Okay.
Yep.
And so we just had to get the quotes, and we've got them now, so I think we can proceed. Voting approval.
We need to do a motion for him to okay, I
To
will
accept
entertain.
that low quote.
A motion.
I'm assuming none of you have seen a copy of it.
Yeah, I emailed all.
I looked it
Oh,
over
yeah.
the other day with him in the office there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make a motion to accept the low bid for removal or abatement of asbestos at
420 West Main.
420 West Main.
And the name of the company being, that ought to be on the record too.
That would be, it's called Environmental Assurance.
By Environmental Assurance.
I second it.
Assurance.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, it's approved. There you go, Ken. Get started on that this week.
After that's done, what's the schedule for that
Okay,
house?
I did get, I talked to the Longneckers, and they did bring me in. You know, they've never dealt with signing some kind of a contract, but they did bring me a form, a paper in that saying, you know, they're agreeing to do, list the work that they're gonna do, which was what they put in their bid, and they've got it signed.
Okay. How about the, so when, you think?
Start date
Well, when I give them the,
based on the removal of the asbestos.
yes,
Because I know they've got a schedule, they've got other ones, there's,
yeah. And I don't have a copy of their insurance stuff, but they do have insurance with Brad Bowman, who also carries the town's insurance. I've talked to Brad.
Can you let us know as soon as the asbestos removal people let you know what's going on, and then contact Longnecker,
Yeah.
and then just let us know through email when that's going to be, so we have some kind of so we're not coming in next month's meeting asking the same questions again.
Yeah, as soon as I'll let you know. I'll let you know when I talk with the abatement company.
Okay.
You know, when I talk to them, they probably within a week after I let them know.
Okay.
And that they'd be able to be here. So, you know, like I said, once I know that, I'll let you guys know when they're gonna be doing that, and then I'll let Longneckers know, and then I'll give you guys, let you know when I hear something from them, when they plan on.
All right. Hopefully you can
Sorry.
figure something out with that by the end of the week and send us something out by that Friday email you send out. All right. Any other houses on there anybody wants to talk about? Properties?
One thing I'd like to talk about, it doesn't necessarily, kind of has to do with blight, but we're assigning fines for mowing and for weeds. And I've got a parcel list here, and I'm just wondering how the collection of those fines is going. Because unless we get the money in, there ought to be some consequences,
Well,
repercussions.
the ones for where we've mowed that have not been paid, I got the paperwork, Bob went through and put a paper together that I can fill out and take to the county and have that then assessed to their property taxes. That's how we can, that's how we'll be able to collect that money. Now, the fines for the unsightly properties, that's another, that will be if they get, I guess if it gets high enough, then the town would have to decide,
Go to court.
go to court with that.
Well,
And-
we
Well,
got
there's-
$100.
Yeah, one guy
There's a-
did come in and
That's all
pay.
we-
There's only $100 that's been paid on this list that I have, and so there's $1,872 outstanding for fees for mowing and fines. This is just on what you had
Yeah,
given me.
just $100.
Yeah, and $100, well, that doesn't include the $100 that's been paid. That's the
see.
outstanding money.
So we're at about 5%.
So we're not doing well on collecting fines,
So,
that
And
concerns me.
one of the properties that I've been dealing with for probably 2 years to get cleaned up, though, was it 415, is it 415 or 514 West Church?
Oh.
I can never remember if it's 4 or 5 it begins with, but it's down at the west end of Church Street that had all kinds of trash and everything. I kept sending letters to the homeowner, and that has finally been cleaned up. And he is one that, like I
yeah,
said,
down beyond the railroad track there, yeah, that
Yes.
is much
Yes.
better than it's
Yeah.
been.
He is one of them that, I did issue some fines to. I think his is a total of 300. I think I sent him a $100 fine and a $200 fine. And that's just what this will become, like I said, a council decision on, are you really gonna push and take him to court to collect $300 or,
It would cost us more than $300, I imagine.
What do you think, Bob?
Could be,
Don't be shy, Bob.
could be.
We've had this discussion before though. about
Right.
The fines and, we gotta have more bite from him in order for him to.
Well, yeah, and we had
Yeah,
talked about
some of these
increasing
fines
the
are
fines to a
30,
point
40
to where
years
it would
old.
be, that there would be some return on that.
It kind of depends, if the threat of the fine or even the imposition of the fine got the person to clean it up, then you've maybe accomplished your real goal, is to clean up the property.
Yes.
But if they're just ignoring it and still have fines imposed, then at some point you need to set that precedent that you will go after them so that other people know that they can't just scuff it off. Now, yeah, the best one is, I don't know if that 1,800 is some of that for the mowing, because that can be put on their taxes.
Yeah, I think somewhat.
Yeah, there's
Because all of that,
people with mowing charges.
yeah, those, yes, they're outstanding, but it's definitely not worth going to court for those, because you're gonna collect it on their taxes ultimately. So those, you don't wanna take any action on.
Another question I had is, if we did go to court for, say, $300 or something like that, and we couldn't put it on their taxes, would there be any way for us to put in the language that it would include the cost to the
We
town?
do have a
for
special
going to court?
section that if something that goes to court, I forget what we add $100 or $150 to, I think, take care of some of my time at least. And they would also be responsible for the filing fee too, if that's part of it.
Yeah, I think that needs to be included into that besides just if we have to take that step, they need to feel that too.
Yeah, that would be added, so that gets closer. So 300, you're getting close to do it. A $50 fine, no, it's not worth going to court, or a $100, no. But
Yeah.
once you're getting to $200 or $300, it may be worth taking them to small claims.
Yeah, especially if we can recoup that
Yeah,
extra.
yeah, if you get that extra.
I mean, do we have fines left over from last year, the year before?
I've not been given any.
I don't know what we have.
I don't know.
How
what
much
you
is
said, but
outstanding?
I'm sure there are, but.
Until this year, they're really that was the debate, which then Bob worked on,
Yeah.
setting us more of a fine schedule, because it used to just say a maximum of $2,500. And it became like my discretion on how much to make that fine. So that's where
Right.
Bob had done some work, and that we had put something together where like, first offense is $100.
Right.
Like, the second time is $200.
So now we have some record.
And then, and that's what I put on these things that I send you guys when I've sent the fine, how much that fine was. And, and then like the third time go up to $300, and I think, if I remember, Bob, didn't we put it in where it could become $300 a day, I could,
Yeah.
up to,
Yeah.
then, you know, up to $2,500.
And then we need to get that turned in if we're going to put that on their taxes so that it shows up on their next year's.
Well, yeah, that
tax.
for weed, and I think it does.
So there should be a date by which time he needs to turn that in at the end of each year so we can
It needs to
kind
go
of
on the
start
taxes.
back over again
Yeah.
next year where we are and know what we did collect and what we missed. Because there are some of these homeowners out there, again, these absentee homeowners that probably won't pay it even if you put it on their taxes until they sell the building, and then it's gonna be a tax lien
Mm-hmm.
on somebody, so.
Okay, so is there an action that we need to take?
I don't believe there's any action that we need to take on that, is there, Bob?
No.
I didn't think so.
Thank you. Very
All right, next up, I guess if there's no more questions on blight right now at this time, unless there is. Okay, quotes for a roof on the fire station, what do we have, Jeff, or, I guess, yeah, he's got them now.
Which I had also emailed you guys all those updated prices, and I think I think in the email I recommended that we would go with, Deshoney Roofing. You know, his bid came in and having, you know, we had went through, and me, Jim, and some of Jess input, you know, put in, this is everything we want covered, because the ones we had before, some of them didn't have, adjusting that pitch of the lower roof, so it was all one, so we got it, so they're all apples to apples.
Yeah.
And, you know, same way with the size of the gutter and downspouts, they're all the same size, and Deshoney's
So everybody's
is,
bidding on the same project?
yes, and Deshoney had a lower bid, which would have been about. Huh?
Sony.
The Sony?
Yeah.
But, you know, he had the lowest bid is, I think, by about $1,000 to the next
And
one.
what was that total?
What was it?
It would have been, okay, his initial bid he sent was $35,785. And when I was looking at it, I realized he didn't have the gutters and downspouts, so I called him. And he had been busy and not been able to send that over, and he had called and talked to Sherry and told her to add $2,200 to that price.
For
And that-
6-inch gutters.
For a 6-inch gutters and downspout.
Downspouts.
And then it said that, you know, if he ended up with the lowest bid and got the project, he would then send us
A corrected
a corrected
quote.
quote over with that included.
Is that acceptable?
Did he do that?
If he-
Not
if-
yet.
if
I
he-
said we have to have
If he
that
did,
bid in
And you
hand,
can't
don't we?
accept a
Yeah.
quote that you don't have yet.
Yeah, and over the phone, say add this to it, well, it's not, yeah, that's not a legal bid, so he's going to have to send us that. Or it's not a bid.
All right.
Okay, so can we entertain this at our special meeting
Yeah,
Monday?
Monday.
To get this, tell them we need it the next day, 2
Yeah.
days?
If
Give
that's the
him-
one you're gonna.
give him
and
till the
you
end of
said
the
you had a
week.
second quote too, so at least you did get 2 quotes.
I mean,
I got 3 quotes altogether.
Okay, and has the council seen all 3 of those?
I emailed all of them the quotes.
Okay.
and
But the
one-
So
One-
what are the, what's the prices of the other two?
The other one, the total was $38,940.
Okay.
And then the other one is like 42,
Okay.
336.
if you add the
Isn't it-
2,200
I
on
mean,
the
that's-
35, you're talking, we're within a few $100s
Yeah.
of the same thing. So
Mhm.
if he gets us a bid by Friday, so you guys can look at it Monday, okay, but if not, I would say we go with the second, or
Oh, he'll
the
get it.
lowest
He'll
bid
get
that we
it
have
in.
that's an actual
He'll get
legal
it
bid
in.
then.
Right,
Yeah,
I agree.
he'll
Okay.
get it in.
All right.
Good.
Thank you. Okay, written quotes for a new mower.
Okay, and I also emailed you guys that quote from Premier Solutions over there on, you know, replacing Johnny's mower. He brought me in a written quote, and I forwarded and emailed that all to you guys, and that price was $8,329.
Premier, what'd you say?
This is a Premier Premier Solutions, is that the
Premier,
name of the
that,
company?
yeah, I can think of the first name.
I remember looking at it, but I don't remember.
8,000. Sorry.
$329.
Premier maintenance is what. the
Premier
chief
Maintenance,
called it.
that's it,
Premier
yeah, thank you. This is Seth.
Yeah.
Okay. Premier Maintenance, $8,329.
The last time we spoke, you recommended that that was a suitable mower, commercial
It
grade.
looks to be, I looked at it, you know, it looks to be, you know, built good. And it's, you know, it's a way to keep something local, and it's a way to, you know, we've always just used the grasshoppers.
But it's substantially lower in cost,
Yes.
and there's an appropriate warranty. Is it 1 year or?
Most of them are about like a 6 to 1 year on certain things, and then it be,
Plus he's in town to repair, so.
Yes, he's right here.
It's a big plus.
It would be in his best interest to take care of that piece of equipment, I would think.
He will. So do we need a motion to approve that?
Yes.
Alright, I'll entertain a motion to approve purchase of the mower from Premier Maintenance.
Make a motion, we, make a motion to, purchase the mower from Premier Equipment.
I'll second.
All in favor?
It's maintenance.
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry, almost
That
said-
passes, so there we go.
Great.
You can contact him this week and get on that. All right, next up is an update to the tornado siren. I think that's probably you.
I haven't heard anything from him lately, and last week I haven't had a chance to talk to him. He was trying to trouble check, and we'll bring a lift over and go up and work on the top of the antenna, and I haven't heard it from him since he's been here.
Okay.
But I think we do know how, if we have an emergency, we can go down and manually fire it, make it make noise.
Okay, so somebody actually goes down there.
We could actually go down
Somebody's
there,
gotta hit the switch.
stick your finger in that box.
Stick a penny in there.
But We're
Okay,
still trying to.
so we're
get
still
him-
waiting on him.
We're still waiting on him,
Okay.
trying to find out why it's not, everything seems to be working, it's just not getting a signal from Richmond.
All right, well, that takes care of unfinished business. New business. BZA position, the boarding zone at this BZA. Susie Duncan and Carol Snyder are stepping down and need replaced.
So, Carol will be appointed by Jim, because that's a town executive position, but, Susie Dungan was the council, Bob?
Yep.
So if you guys have any names to replace for Susie Dungan's position, you guys get to nominate and appoint that.
Boy,
When is she coming off? Right away or?
She'd like to,
yeah, she stepped down at the sewer board as well, so.
yeah, and Carol would like to also, she doesn't get around very well, and she's ready to. But Carol, like I said, is Jim.
Are there any requirements for it to be this type like Democrat?
They don't have to live in the city limits, do they, for the boarding zone, or the?
Board of
zoning
Zoning Appeals.
For,
um,
yeah, because
Cause-
isn't the one that the commission
Yeah,
is the
there's somebody
county?
that's in a 2 mile
That's
fringe.
Tracy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's-
that's
This
what
one
I knew
does
we
have to
had
be
a-
in town limits,
So
and
you do have-
it cannot be a member of the planning commission.
Yes, which they're not, or cannot be, you're right, this one is not, but. And on the planning commission is you, Debbie, and Jim McLean, Robert Miller, Jill and Brenda, Jill King and Brenda McLean, Tracy Richardson and Dion Lewis. Those are all in the planning commission, so none of those people can be on the BZA, except
Well,
one appointed
there's
was Robert,
one-
yeah,
one
one,
has to be on
and he's already on
But
there,
then the other ones have to be non-plan commission.
non-planning.
And this vacancy is a non-plan commission.
Since we haven't talked to anybody to get their approval, we can't.
Yeah,
make a
I don't have
decision.
any names to just throw out.
That's why I
there
sent
in
you guys an
public.
email like last month. and
Putting
it's
pressure
like,
on someone.
think about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
Just
talked-
ask the public if anybody's interested to contact.
Yeah.
them.
I can ask around, and if I get any names, I'll send them to you before next week if I hear from anybody that would be interested.
Do they have a planned meeting right now? When is the next meeting? Ken, do you know? Zoning appeals?
I think it's not till first of the year, I think, is when we'll have.
They do it quarterly or?
We slate to have one quarterly, but it's one of those things,
If nothing's on the agenda.
if not, if I.
But they have to have an annual one, and they're
Right.
trying to get that done in January, February of every year.
Get
and then
knocked out.
quarterly, Unless there's no business.
Yeah.
Okay. All
So
right,
then
well, we'll just move on then
Okay.
from that. We'll come up with some names and kick that around down the road. All right, approval of Kareem Bogue's official
Oh, yeah,
bond.
since Glendora retired, I had to get a official bond for Karine, and so that arrived, and I just need that approval, so I can get it on record.
All right,
Of
I
her
need
bond.
a motion to approve Kareem Bogue's official bond for the town.
I'll
So
make that
moved.
motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes.
Thanks.
Okay, resolution 6-2024 to transfer $66.04 to the general fund.
So moved. So moved.
Awesome, no discussion. Thank you, Jim.
Approved.
Next. Who seconded it?
Somebody second.
Gary?
Second.
Okay,
All in favor?
Aye.
Yay.
awesome.
All right. All right.
Last one will be simple too.
Approval of $1,500 donation from Leland Legacy for Christmas lights.
Yes.
I take
I
a
was,
motion.
over and I talked to the maintenance man last year, we was talking about the vandalism in the park, and, director got a hold of it, and she called, I got hold of the company, and he said, send them some money.
Great.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Cool. Good deal.
They said that, talk like possibly, if we do the cameras, they might help us out a little bit with that too.
Great.
And you talked to somebody
Yeah,
that
yeah.
said it was not necessarily for the park, but could be also
She
used
said it
downtown.
was just Christmas lights.
She said it was for the fire, I told her to write to the fire department, to write that down.
Okay, so then they need to,
Move to approve the donation of $1,500 from Leland Legacy for the Christmas gifts, or Christmas lights, Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
Christmas gifts.
for the park or for the town?
If it was your contact and it was directed to the
Okay.
park.
Yeah, the
I
first,
just wanna make, I just
yeah, I didn't want to
make
write,
it clear.
I didn't want to write check to the fire
Yeah.
department.
The town needs
Yeah.
it, but
Right.
it's.
So it goes into the right fund.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. We got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So it's approved. $1,500 donation. All right, we're down to the bottom here. Staff reports, town marshal, what do you have for us?
I just had a couple things. So, I approached Miller Wood Specialties about the shelving in our evidence room, and Robert actually came down a few weeks back and took some measurements. They built the shelving and donated it. I don't have a dollar figure what they have in it, but I'm sure it's north of $2,000. So they came, they built them, painted them, brought them down, and even installed them. So I'd like permission to accept that donation, I guess.
Yeah.
And publicly thank them for
Yeah.
Robert Miller and Miller Wood
Tell them
Specialties.
thank you on behalf of the board, because that's
Absolutely.
great.
Absolutely.
Just-
And now that we've thanked them, let's approve it.
Yeah.
So do I have a motion to accept the donation of the wood shelving for the evidence room?
It's actually metal shelving.
Metal shelving.
Yeah.
Wood specialties, I'm just with
So
you.
moved.
I thought it'd be wood also.
Second?
Second?
All right. Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So
Thank
approved.
you. That's great.
All right, anything else?
So with that, a couple weeks ago it rained pretty hard. We still had a slight leak on the floor. I would like to be able to get somebody here so we can get this taken care of. We can't have it leaking. I'm not sure where the problem's at. We can show them where it came in at, but I don't know.
Is that floor lower than the outside
I'd say portions of
pavement
it
and,
are, yeah.
or,
The way this bank is over here, I'd say portions of it
I
are.
just wonder if we need to put some kind of a French tile in there or something to get the water away from that area if it's coming in from the bottom.
I think that the gutter system back there is still maybe an issue where it drains. So we need somebody to look at it. We need to get that done.
Yeah.
Is there a drain, like up where you could put a sump pump or anything in there?
No,
You just need to stop it.
no, we
Just need
can't
to
have
stop
water
it.
running in there.
Wow. So, do we not have anyone that would know that on the town, that would know how to look at something like that? We have to get somebody from the outside?
Yeah, I'd have to get somebody outside.
Is there some kind of a sealant, I don't know, around the floor in the basin there, like you
Yeah,
could
well,
do a
it's-
basement or
you're-
something like
I
that?
think you're gonna have to look at it, see where it's coming from, because
Yeah.
it could be high and
Yeah.
it's running down
Running
inside,
down,
so
coming through.
I don't know.
Do we have funds to pay for someone to come?
I don't have any
I
idea
don't
what kind
know
of funding.
what's, I'm not sure what's all in there for, building,
For maintenance.
look at building improvements or something like that.
Well, I think there's a line item for town hall improvements.
I don't think it's much,
It's not much.
no. I mean, we could use what's there, but
Well, we can at least find somebody to look at it.
look
Yeah,
at it.
like have somebody
get
come
a
and tell us
quote,
what it's gonna
get-
cost,
find
if they
out.
can, you know, I mean,
Who
yeah.
would even call? Who would you
I
call?
don't know, Ken, do you have anybody you call for general maintenance and construction responsibilities?
Who did the original work that we had?
Well,
That
it
would
was,
be called.
I can't
Kevin West is, the company he works for is who fixed the gutter and the soffit and everything on that corner. I don't know if they do anything drainage wise or not, I don't know, I'd have to call and talk to him and see if he does, if they do anything.
We just hired a company to do, we had water in our basement, and they came out, put kind of a front drain around the outside, and said that was the best thing. Reinhardt's in Richmond.
It could be that it just needs a drain around the outside of it.
That's what I'm thinking.
Run the water.
I'm pretty sure that ground outside that wall is higher than.
Oh, it is on that side for sure.
HART,
Yeah.
At least portions of
I would
it.
say
Okay.
it's water pressure coming
Might
from
get
the
you
bottom.
and
is
him,
probably
Reinhardt's, give
caused
them a
it.
call.
Like Reinhardt drainage or
Yeah,
just?
it's Reinhardt's, it's basically general yard and lawn maintenance and
Okay.
building maintenance.
And if they did it,
Yeah.
was it real expensive?
All right.
Not too bad.
No? Yeah, give them a call, maybe they can come over. That isn't bad.
That's not bad at all.
So we did get, Ken got us, we got a humidifier to put back there because of the humidity, obviously. The issue is, it's gonna have to be dumped 2 or 3 times a day to keep up with it, so I would like to have Barnheiser, I think, come back, we did the mold remediation, and see if they can suggest to us how to ventilate that area.
There's no cold air return in that
There's
whole
nothing
area
in,
back
there's
there.
nothing in there.
And there's no heat pushed in, there's no cold air
Right.
return, so it's just dead airspace in
Right,
there.
so I don't know if we can vent above the man door that's there, or to an outside wall or something, but maybe get some, I figure they're probably
A small
have
fan
the
with a
expertise
vent,
for that.
low and high, and a small fan in there, moving the air would probably
Yeah.
take
There
it.
needs to be some type of circulation of, yeah, so I would like to have permission to call them back and let them look at it.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mold that.
The only other thing I had was, Seth's gonna talk about, we, got the grant from the county a while back from the opioid funds to purchase the new True Narc, narcotics analyzer, and I think that Seth's gonna talk on that for a second.
Yeah, the grant we got that was done from the Wayne County Commissioners, Wayne County Council, we were awarded $30,503, I believe. That went towards the True Narc tester, which is I'll show it to everyone, but mainly a laser. It eliminates us having to touch the substance, the unknown substance, especially with fentanyl and some of that. We can find out what it is without opening it up. And then also we got, everyone got gloves here. They're needle resistant gloves. Already this year I've been out with the county on a traffic stop and went down and he had a needle uncapped and he got pricked. So that way for searching people, cars, we got some prevention from doing that. That was a qualified thing. And then the last thing, we're ordering some gloves, nitrile gloves that are a lot thicker for fentanyl if we do have to handle stuff like that, so we have better protection. But I just figured I'd at least show it to everyone.
I think what the only second agency that has one of these. in the
Yeah,
county.
second agency to have it, but we're the only agency that has one that can be portably taken around. So I went through a lot of the training. All the other guys are going to get some training, and then they actually fly someone out to do some formal training, which we to schedule that. But it's not big at all. All it is I move this up, the laser shoots, and I just kind of put it on it, and it'll, once it takes the molecular thing back to it, it tries to figure it out what the library is. The nice thing about this company, say I get something that isn't on the library, they said I can submit the molecular level to them within 48 hours. They'll give me something back that says what it's closest to.
I think it'll scan up to, 500 different substances, I think,
Well, you can get 5
as it sits.
5 substances. Yeah, the library is pretty huge and it's a lifetime updated on it. It's already been useful. I used one, it was just prescription medication, but when I scanned it, it indicated that it was actually fentanyl pills. But so we've already used that, and it's been handy with some of the stuff that say a case that the prosecutor either it got didn't file on or plea deals before, and then they cancel it from the lab. So I was able to test some of those things to see what they are. But we still have to send the thing to the lab, but it just gives us the forefront knowledge of potentially what it is, and it avoids us having to handle it for safety.
Great.
So we got those two, and then we'll have everything here hopefully in just a few weeks. We'll be done with that grant.
That's great.
What was the total cost for that?
It was 40, a little over 40,000. That was 30,000 from that, and then we used the difference on our restricted funds because everything I requested did meet the restricted funds for us, so we were able to use that, which is a lot harder to spend.
And you guys did approve that previously?
Yep.
Yep.
Awesome.
But
Fly somebody out here and all that, it's
yeah,
pretty great.
I think also at this time just to publicly thank the Wayne County Commissioners and the council for doing this grant for all the law enforcement agencies in Wayne County, the smaller ones, to help us out. And I think of all the small counties, I think we received the most money. So greatly appreciate their support for us.
Definitely.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
That's all I had.
That it?
One other quick thing on the radar signs.
I'm
What-
still
what
working
can I
on
do
that. It is on my list. We've been extremely busy the last month and a half, so I haven't.
I understand, but do you need more help from anywhere in particular?
No, I think I will get it. We'll just give me a little more time.
All right, thanks. Just hadn't checked in.
It is on my list.
Great,
All
thanks.
right, Jeff?
Working on Christmas lights are coming along well. Hope to have them all up by the end of the month. Then all I have to do is put the cords on when it's appropriate time. So that's going well. We've already discussed Halloween, next week and a half from now.
Yep.
So it's all in steps, so.
Christmas lights are going up.
They're going, we're going pretty good. We got some younger guys, it's going up a little quicker.
That helps.
It makes a big difference. Everything else is good.
Okay, that's it. All right, Ken, we've talked to you a lot, but do you have anything else for us?
Yep. Last month I had that price on getting a blade for the Kubota, and you guys asked about, is it something that was, necessary right now, whatever. So I decided to put that on hold, and then I did email you guys, because the guys have asked me about a different salt spreader and a blade for the one truck that does not have one on. So I got some prices. One is for, the one price I got was for a Boss plow and spreader. And then the other one was for a Western, which are both, they're probably your two top of the line when it comes to spreaders and blades. And the Western price was lower than the Boss, and so I would like to get your approval so I could get that ball rolling on getting a plow on this other truck and getting a spreader.
By when?
Before wintertime comes.
How
They
much?
do they have these like in stock? I mean,
They usually,
how's it gonna be a plow that fits our old
they usually have them in stock, but they just gotta get them shipped from the company and that. The price for the Western was $16,047.50. And the Boss, the price on it was $16,208. Like I said, they were close, but like I said, the Western was the lower of the two, and Western is what we have on the trucks now.
And the money would come from?
I had it broke down on what I emailed you guys from different funds, and me and Sherry talked about it. There should be all that money in all those. Just, I mean, it's all equipment funds.
Well, we described this as a priority, so.
Yep.
And that's why I said, you guys wanted a priority, so I thought this is something the guys have been asking for, and so I thought.
Okay,
this
so we
would
had
come.
tabled this, I guess, at an earlier time.
So we determined what the priorities were.
Yeah. So, do we want to execute that now and entertain a motion to All right, I'll take a motion to approve purchase of the plow from Western
And salt spreader.
and salt spreader, plow and salt spreader from Western.
And the install will be done by who?
By this Auto Outfitters out of Anderson, that's the,
It's all inclusive in there.
yes, that's all in that price.
Do we have to take the truck up there?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll make that motion.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved.
That'll show some good positive movement and be ready for when we have one snowfall this year.
Snowflake.
Yeah.
And the other thing I have on my list is, when we had the budget meeting, when we did the budget, I brought up about wanting to make Ron full-time first of the year, but that was never officially done. And I know, in another month of that, sure, he'll be doing the salary ordinance, so that's all done. Well, then I'd like to get your guys' approval to make Ron full-time at the beginning of the year.
I thought we were agreeing on that.
We talked about putting him on the salary ordinance, but,
We couldn't vote
we
on it
couldn't.
because of the other meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in a.
it was a,
But we agreed.
Yeah.
you agreed, yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a motion
Remember that
on making
Ron Reynolds. Well,
You're not gonna approve what he's gonna get paid until you vote on your salary
Salary
ordinance at the end
ordinance,
of the year.
Yeah, so you just,
You
Right,
can
which is-
indicate to him that that's the plan, but right now, you're not hiring him, you're not making him that full-time until you are approving the salary ordinance for 2025. And
So we wanna
it's
wait
gonna
until
be
then to make the
premature.
motion?
Absolutely, you can't do it.
Yeah,
now.
okay.
Okay. Thank you.
I just wanted to make sure we got it so that,
so
that I would,
we got-
that he will
Well,
be
we're all,
full-time.
we're all in agreement, it's just, we gotta get all the dominoes in the right
Yeah,
order.
the same thing as last meeting. I think we had a
Yeah.
consensus. We wanted you to
Yep.
tell him that, so.
Then the only other thing I got is I just want to let you guys know that, I will not be in the office next week, I'll be on vacation. So,
Who's second in charge?
there's really nobody that's designated, depending on what if they got something, they get a hold of,
Who do we call, is all I'm asking.
they either call Chris or Joe.
Joe, okay. And Sherry, we have.
They usually have a list of stuff that
Joe first
to be,
and then,
Right.
So
to
that-
work on and everything, so.
Good, okay, thanks.
I just had one thing to bring up. I know we got all the stuff going on over there in the park now, and it looks good. They're getting ready to put in all that equipment and everything. It looks all good. Things are moving in the right direction. But when that's done, can we take a look at, as soon as possible, a lot of the posts down there are cracked and broken off and rotted out,
That's
and
a-
the cables are loose, and
Yeah, that's an all,
yeah, I think.
always.
Yeah, once we're
ongoing
done
issue.
messing around inside there and going in and out of there, I think we need to address that. All right, anybody else got anything?
our next meeting is November 11th, which the office is closed and it's Veterans Day. Do we want to have our meeting on November 11th, Veterans Day? I'm just putting it out there.
Fine with me.
It's okay with
You're
you?
the
Doesn't
veteran.
matter to me.
Do you have big plans?
I'll wear my Class A uniform in here.
Okay.
I can do that, for veterans.
I know you can, yeah. Okay, I just wanted to make sure everybody was good for that day.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
All right, Bob,
Yes.
you're up.
The only thing I have is on your water project, Jim is aware of this and Sherry, we need a financial advisor to do a rate study as to the industrial park. It's in anticipation of how to fund the repayment of that bond. And the bond council suggested Baker Tilly. We have used them in years past. The most recent ones we used was Buzz. What's Buzz's last? Crone and Associates. And so Jim, Adam, Sherry, and I talked and thought that maybe it was time to go a little different direction because some issues that we had with the last financial advisor on phase one. So this is on the second phase. Baker Tilly is probably the most respected financial advisors in the state. They're out of Indianapolis. And we asked them to present an engagement letter to us, which has all the normal legal mumbo jumbo on it. It's a not to exceed number of 12,500, and it looks satisfactory to me. And I think bond counsel was also happy with it. That's who they have used on their most recent towns that are doing this kind of rate study. And so it would be my recommendation that you approve this engagement letter with Baker Tilly.
Has Jim seen it?
Yeah, he got
Yeah,
all
he's
of
on
it,
the-
and
he's on
did
the
you
call.
talk with, was he okay with
Yeah.
that, Nancy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So we need a motion on
Yep.
it.
Motion to approve the engagement with Baker Tilly, financial.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Or whoever needs it.
Approved.
Yeah.
Do you wanna authorize Jim to sign when he comes back, or who do you wanna?
For them, for Baker Tilly?
No, they've already signed it, I just.
Oh, I mean, for that.
Yeah,
that
for this thing.
Yeah, because I don't think he'll be back. Maybe we should have Mike sign it.
Just go ahead
so
and
we
have
can,
Mike sign it.
yeah, get that in.
Doesn't cost me anything, does it?
No.
Your name's
the
on it.
future,
Your
when-
name will be
It makes
on
you
it.
personally liable, Mike, but don't
Yeah.
worry about that paragraph.
So we need to have a motion to make
My
Mike the
factory
signer?
will see your factory.
You could have made the motion that when you authorize this, to authorize Mike to sign that too.
Okay, Debbie, that's your motion.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Got it.
You wanna just sign and date that?
Alright. What is today?
14, October 14th.
10/14. I do everything in military when we do.
10/14,
14, 24.
We do everything backwards. It would be 14 October 2024. Normally we sign it.
That sounds like a
And they
neat
write
idea.
October out on WCTV.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you sign it on that.
Same thing there?
Yep. I'll throw it in town camera so that you're not first notice.
You wanna do that first? There we go.
Wonderful, thank you.
Yes.
That's all I have.
All right. Anyone else have any?
I wanted to say that, I thought the Ron Reynolds and Joe and Ryan Webb did a wonderful job up at the cemetery when the big tree came down. And, I was up here the night when the call came in that, during our little hurricane. And it's a
Yeah.
huge tree, and they really worked hard and they got it cleaned up really, really well. And even the fence is gonna be, I think, okay. I thought it would be mangled and annihilated, but it seems like they've even got it pushed up. And more work needs to be done to it, I'm sure, but they did a marvelous job up there getting that cleaned up.
All right.
They need to be recognized.
Thank you, Gary.
So had something?
I just-
Ted?
I was just going to announce October 26th, we're continuing partnering with the DEA National Medication Take Back. That'll be the 26th of this month from 10 to 2. We'll do it where we usually did it right outside of the Cambridge City Town Building. And Reed Health EMS has partnered with us so far and also being there to help with that. So we'll take medications and unused needles and all that.
Good.
All right. Thank you. Anybody else? Going once, going twice? I'll take a motion for adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Yay.